Hey guys, going into the first round of a Ravnica-Guildpact draft. Deck I think is a little bit of a mess, but it does have some strong cards in it, and hopefully that'll get us there. So we'll see though. I would like to play first. Okay. Well, we have all our colors but white, which is our least prevalent color anyway. I think this hand's pretty solid, so I'll keep it. We do have the Signet, so, keeping a two-lander here isn't nearly as bad as it can otherwise be. Being able to play Dagger Clamp on turn 3 is pretty great, too, because that does put the opponent on a pretty quick clock. And, the creatures... Having Fists of Ironwood plus Scatter the Seeds is also a pretty nice thing to have in your opening hand. Alright, so we'll lead with a Forest in our turn. So if I draw land, the question is, would I rather play Lurking Informant because it gets me closer to being able to scatter sooner, or... And I did draw land, and now we have all of our colors. How nice. But playing Deemer Signet also gets me closer, but it doesn't give me a body. So... Let's see. If I play the Signet this turn, that gives me 4 mana next turn. There's not really anything extra I can do with 4 mana right now with what I have going on. But it's probably still right to play the Signet. I mean, the Informant, is a dude, so maybe he'd get in for 1 or 2 damage, but his real value is in being able to control what our opponent draws. All right. So, well, see, now we drew a Greater Moss Dog. I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Moss Dog first. I mean, I can play the Dagger Imp later and then be pretty happy with that, because he has evasion and everything. And Fists of Ironwood goes a lot better on a Greater Moss Dog anyway, so see what our opponent has for us. Alright, well, that's annoying. So our opponent's going to try to mill us out, or so it appears. So Fists of Ironwood now doesn't do anything other than give us more creatures, which, is something. We will pay green. I'm going to play the Dagger Imp now. And then I will go ahead and play Fists of Ironwood here and get some Saprolings going. So, I mean, we can almost just use Scatter the Seeds right now, which is pretty great, but not quite. All right. Well, our opponent just has the answers, man. That is annoying. He can put a stop to what we were doing. So I guess now we just play our Lurking Informant. And we can start controlling what he draws, I guess. But right now we just can't really swing. I guess I could start swinging with the Informant and the Greater Moss Dog. I can also use Scatter the Seeds at the end of our opponent's turn. But yeah, it sucks that he played that and then gave it flying, putting it into our Dagger Clamp while he also drew 2 cards. So not a lot of fun there for us. It's a lot of fun for our opponent. Okay, Torch Drake. I should have scattered there, but it honestly isn't going to make much of a difference. I'll play this Transluminant. And yeah, we don't really have any good attacks. So this game's definitely in our opponent's favor because he can just start milling us. We do have a couple cards with Dredge, so I guess that wouldn't hurt. I could have controlled his draw there, and I probably should have. That was a mistake, I think. Yeah, our opponent got a lot of good cards. I mean, some of them we passed, like Compulsive Research, Vidalcan, Entrancer, and Flight of Fancy are all cards we passed. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a couple things at the end of his turn here. Yeah. Yes, we do want to put that into the graveyard. Although I guess right now he would pay 6 and I'd lose a Sapperling, but still. And then we're going to cast Scatter the Seeds. Hey, another Scatter the Seeds. That means we can get a little reckless, I guess, in the sense that, you know, our Sapperlings, losing them isn't the end of the world or anything right now. I guess we can look and see what our opponent might be drawing. Stupid 4/1 flyer. 4/1/4 flyer, rather. Yeah, I'm going to swing all of these things. Yep, okay. What I expected. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at the top card of our opponent's library here. And still leave up enough to scatter. Ooh, don't want that either. And yeah, I'll end my turn. And he mills me. Shambling Shell, he has Dredge. I mean, we're going to help our opponent dredge us, potentially. It wouldn't have been bad to get Shambling Shell, and I could draw it now, I guess, because then I can put a +1/+1 counter on my Daggerclaw Imp, and it can at least force a trade here. We'll see what our opponent does, of course, but it's not looking good. Wow. That's pretty messed up. And we tapped our white. Okay. That was very good against us. Cleansing Beamed. All right, so we're going to scatter another time at the end of his turn. Glad we didn't do that earlier. So, scattered. So, do I want to dredge? If I get it back, I can make this into a 4/1 or make this into a 4/4, both of which is a problem for my opponent. I'd probably make this into a 4/4. Also speeds up my mill clock, but I'm gonna have a pretty good swing here. I mean, making this a 4/1 this turn might actually be better in the sense that I can still swing with everything, and yeah. So I think I am gonna dredge. What did we throw in our graveyard there? Nothing of note, which is good. Yeah, we want to use the black. I'll play the Shambling Shell. Oh, do you have Convolute? That's messed up. Ugh, why? Why is our opponent so mean? Okay. Well, I think I just get in there with all of these things again. Alright, so we get in for 5. We can actually use our Lurking Informant for us now to see whether or not we'd rather draw it than the Shambling Shell. That might just be better at this point. But I'm not certain. Hmm. Where's Last Gasp? That'd be nice. Luckily we didn't mill that. Nightmare Void would even be pretty nice right now. Okay, so our opponent's at 9. I don't have to make a decision yet. I'll let him draw what he wants. I'm definitely leaning towards trying to dredge again. That's pretty gross. Rune Boggle. That's... Okay, well, that's... I was thinking that was an X counterspell, but... not too big of a problem for us. We do have pressure on our opponent, so we have that going for us. Let's see what he's got. I mean, this kind of deck is just very dirtily. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the top card of my library. Okay, we don't want to put it into the graveyard because we're happy for that to be one of the cards that we dredge. So, why aren't you showing me my graveyard? There we go. Dowsing Gloom and Austere Thrall. Both of those would have made me pretty happy, but you can't have everything. Okay, so we're going to do this again. This time it'll resolve, so that'll be nice. And I think I swing with both of these now. Yeah. Okay. Let's think here. I can actually use my Shambling dude to just make this go back to his hand, but that's not awesome. These two trade no matter what I do. And here, these two trade if I don't do anything. And I think I just go ahead and don't do anything and leave him with just his 1/4. Yeah. No +1/+1 counters. There's no reason to like use up my shambling shell in that situation. Okay. Mills us. Nice Last Gasp and Nightmare Void. Spawn Broker. Really? I mean, I guess that's good. No, we don't really want any of that stuff. That isn't bad. That does do some interesting stuff here. It makes it so I can swing with my Shambling Shell without any fear, really. So I will. All right, drops him to 6. Now, oh, we want to leave black sources up if we can, actually. We're gonna do this. No, we'll let him draw that. And we'll end our turn. He'll mill us. It's interesting he's using that Nivix every turn. Hit an island. And we know he drew a swamp, so that feels pretty good for us. Cancel. Yeah, maybe I should have gotten Nightmare Void there. So we can swing with everything basically here and drop him to 1. Seems fairly solid. I think that is what I'll do. Not being able to Lurking Informant for a turn does kind of suck, but all right, so choose target creature. That's our target, and we'll sacrifice a Sapperling. See if he does something of his own, or if we just get to get rid of that guy. Well, he's going to mill us. Don't tell me he has Glimpse the Unthinkable. That would be unthinkable. I'll hold on to this card to bluff and end my turn. All right, well, our opponent just got flooded in that game. I mean, that looked like a game we were just going to lose eventually, but we drew the right cards when we needed to, and things went pretty well. So Sundering Vitae can destroy his enchantment, but that's the kind of enchantment that you'd rather just they not play ever. What do we want, if anything? Nope, not that. I don't think we want anything, really. Order of the Stars is an okay, like, against, like, a deck that's mostly one color and is aggressive, but against this guy, it's pretty bad. Speaking of bad cards, that's a bad one. Unless you're playing in, like, 10-man Commander or something. Cry of Contrition. I mean, we already have Hand Disruption, and, you know, we can disrupt what he draws. Lurking Informant did end up being pretty good there, so, yeah, I think we just leave things as is. See what we get this time. Pretty lucky to get all our cards that time. Oh, all our colors. Okay, I think this is a keep. 1-drop, 2-drop, scatter the seeds, not far behind. Drawing all lands isn't exactly what we want to do, but it's what we're doing. Well, now we have all our colors. Actually, we don't have the blue that we have just in a signet to give our white flying, but I guess I'll be okay. That guy again. Hey, Austere Thrall. I like that. So, oh, I should have played a forest there. That was bad. Well, so much for scattering the seeds there. But yeah, in the turn. We would have been able to scatter at the end of his turn, but obviously we didn't. Seems pretty likely that our opponent has counter magic right now. And which would I rather have die right now? I mean, I can get back the Greater Moss Dog if he counters it. So I'll just go ahead and cast that first. Convolute. Or that. Yeah, pretty good there. Normally, I don't think that cards like that are very good, but that worked out for him. Kind of the same start of the last game where we played a couple early aggressive creatures. Ooh, our Blind Hunter. That would have been so nice right now. We played a couple early aggressive creatures, but they kind of got stonewalled late. I'm not liking the look of all that land. All right. No, I don't think we want to do that right this moment. Hello, Mortipede. You actually trade with this guy. And we can make him block you, even if he doesn't want to. I mean, this Thrall's going to be pretty good, but it's less good against, like, this guy, you know. I do have to make him mill me at a different time, basically, is what I have to do. And Siege Worm, too. It's not exactly ideal for us. Spawn Broker. Nope. Nightmare Void. Okay, that's interesting at least. I can kill his Entrancer because I can make it have to block. Yeah. What do I want to do here? I think maybe I'd rather Nightmare Void him first. I'm not really in, like, immediate danger. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and use Nightmare Void. See what he's got going on in his hand. Yeah, that's going to be scary if he gets it out late. So we'll hit that. And now we know he has 2 mountains in his hand. So that's good information to have. And we'll just end our turn. So after we get rid of this Entrancer, we're going to have, you know, he's basically in top deck mode, other than milling us. Man, he keeps hitting good cards, too. All right. Nightmare Void again. Don't think so. Especially not when we could get milled to death. Okay, so now I think we do swing with Mortipede and make his guy block it. And then we play Sadistic Augur Mage. Okay. Oh, that was stupid. Yeah, I kind of forgot that he could just tap his guy at will like that. Yeah, that was bad. So we're just going to take down a Spawn Broker. Okay. Well, you're dead, Spawn Broker. We need to draw something. Although Pillory of the Sleepless isn't even that good against this guy. Okay, more creatures are good. So I'm going to play Transluminant. See if our opponent can do anything about that. Or wants to do anything about that. And then I'll play Austerity Thrall, which will start letting us get in for damage every turn. If nothing else. Like, he'll have to mill us when we say so, basically, if we keep tapping down his Vidalcan Entrancer. And it'll be even more once we scatter the seeds, so... Okay. That's an interesting card. Since these days mana burn's not a thing. So... Okay. Well, now he knows that that's... he's going to have to block when I say he does, so... I mean, mill when I say he does. Hey, Shambling Shell, you proved quite useful last time. I'm a little scared to get him now, since we don't have a way to get rid of this Entrancer. And we don't have the most life in the world. Okay. Seems like that would hurt him more than it would hurt us, right? Like, it does make our Scatter the Seeds a little less fun, I guess, but... I mean, we'll just have to cast it, like, now. But we get in for 5 here. And then I'll use Scatter the Seeds now. All right. And we'll hold on to this forest. Okay, Torch Drake. It's interesting he's doing that like ahead of... He's not making me tap it, which seems wrong to me. Right? Like, because now I can just tap his Torch Drake and just like hit him so hard. Tap down Torch Drake. Swing with everybody. He can trade with this, and that probably is what he should do to avoid taking as much damage. But yeah, and it also makes me put forest on top of my library. But I'm not too concerned about that. And then yeah, I'll tap all my lands. Yes, I do still want to continue. Because if he were tapping his guy to mill me, I would have to tap him down myself, and then he could just mill me in response. I mean, granted, that still leaves me with some pretty decent attacks here. Okay, that makes sense. Well, forest, what a surprise. Okay. See, this is what he should have been doing. Because this does create problems for us. I tap down Vidalcan and Trancer, let's say, and just swing with Transluminant. I could also, at the end of his turn, tap his guys down and then swing for 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll have 7 cards left in my library at that point. What to do? What to do indeed. I mean, yeah, I think we do this. He mills me in response, and I swing with Transluminant. And if he wants to trade, that's fine. We then only have 1 creature we have to tap down every turn, and our 3 Saplings can get us there. I mean, we're going to offer the trade. We're going to swing with everything, so if he'd rather block one of my Saplings, then I'm okay with that, too. Okay, so he goes to 5. And we'll end the turn. We are close to getting milled out, though. It's worth noting. Shambling Shell right now. Not super relevant, so we're not going to do... There we go. All right. That's exactly what we want. It does keep us from being able to use the tap ability right now. But that's probably okay. So we're going to pillory that thing. All right, so we're going to pay the 1. Okay. Then we'll swing with both our 2s. Well, we should probably just swing with everything. We want to get him low. Again, if he wants to trade for a Saproling, then whatever. All right, so we won. Maybe my deck's better than I thought it was. Maybe I got lucky. I don't know, but seemed pretty good there. So, yeah, we'll go to round